In this video, we will learn how we can create an autopath using Robot Studio. So, Autopath helps us in generating accurate paths. Whenever we want to move our robot around some object, then we can create an autopath using the 3D CAD model of that object. So let's see how we can do it through Robot Studio. So let's select our robot and start a new station. Okay, let's select the library and our robot is here. Let's import equipment and add a end effector. Let's add my tool to the robot. Let's go to layout and attach the object to end effector to our robot. Okay, so next thing we want to import is, if you go to import library under equipment, you can see in training objects you will see chord thing. So we will import chord thing. So we want to place this chord thing within the range of our robot. So let's use the position, set position, and towards X it should be around 600, maybe let's say 500. Okay, that's 500. Around Y, let's say minus 145. It's enough, and let's place it around 400. Okay, so we will place our chord thing around here. So basically in chord thing you see there is a object with multiple edges. Like by multiple edges I mean like there is a straight line and there is also a curve within that object. So we want our robot to move around the edge of this object. So to generate a path around this object, we will go to path. You have to select home and select path, and under path you will see autopath. So select autopath. So after you select autopath, you will see a window like this, and you can see in our object there is linear edges and also curved edges. So we want to, so when we have this window, we will have to select circular here. So because we have a curve here, so it will approximate the path for curve as well. So let's start by selecting all the edges of the object. So make sure we have to select the edges one by one. We should not break, so we should not select the edges randomly, so it should go on a pattern. So let's select this edge. After this one, click every edge. So in the curve, so whenever this edge is selected, you can see the red line around it, and the linear, the red one, and the last edge is here. So now you can see we have selected 7 edges. So even for the curve it will select as edge, and then we will click create. So now you can see under path and targets a new path is created. So if you see the path, now you can see it has generated the instruction by itself. Move L, move L, move L to target, move L to target, and move C around this, around this. So to see these targets, we can select the work object and targets. See, then we have 10 targets created, and it has also generated the path. You can see the path in yellow line. You can see when we have two edges, there is a curved line around here. So this is because of the zone value that we studied last time. So for this we will select all the commands, select all the instructions here, and right click and go to modify instruction. So under modify instruction you will see zone. So right now the value of zone is 100, so we will select fine. So now you can see the difference. The path will go through all the targets. Okay, so now next thing is we want to see how the orientation of this end effector will be when we place on that target. So for that you can click on one of the target and right click and see view tool at target and select my tool. So now you can see our tool orientation at this place is around this, so which is impossible to achieve with our robot. So that's why if you go to this command, you can read here, target may not be reachable with current configuration. Or so what should we do now is we have to rotate this tool so that our robot can achieve this target. So right click on this target, right click and modify target, and you can rotate the target. So we can rotate our target around Z axis. Let's say around Z axis here we will rotate our target by 180 degree. Now you can see, so this can be achieved because our robot can only move to this position and it can achieve. So for all the other, you can see all the other targets cannot be achieved as of now. So for that what we can do is select the first target where we already changed the orientation. So right click it and copy the orientation using copy orientation. So from here select all the rest of the targets and right click it and click on apply orientation. So now you can see all the orientations are shown here. So next thing we want to do is our path is created here, so we have to right click and synchronize to rapid. So it will convert this to rapid code and click on OK. So since we want to simulate this, so we have to go to simulation. Sorry, we do not need to go to simulation. We can go to the path and target, and this path will be our simulation entry point. So that means when we start our simulation, it will start simulating this path. So to select that, right click on this and set as simulation entry point. Sorry, okay, so this is the entry point. So now go to simulation and play. Again, start play button. So you can see our robot moves around the path that we selected. If we want to select our, if we want our robot to move in continuous mode, so we can go to simulation setup here and select continuous. So it will just go around that part continuously. Play. So it will go around this path continuously. If you want, you can go to home and then remove the frames. So to remove the frames, you can go to show and hide here, and then okay, all the frames, all the paths. So frame and size small. Sorry, parts should be selected. Mechanism should be selected. Text. Okay, it's all right. We can just uncheck two things, and we will play simulation, and then we will play again. So that means now it will. So this is how we can go through all the edges of the object. So in the real world, if you want to create a accurate path around any object, we have to upload the 3D model of that object, and then we can generate the auto path.